You can't just do that.
Well, I did. But anyway, what's up, guys? The Witch Doctor, and as you heard in the beginning, I have my boy Kenny with me, so say hello.
Whoa.
Oh, there we get the proper. Alright, anyways, you can see in the title. We're actually recording this early, but this will be our top 5 favorite 6th gen Pokemon, or X and Y if you want to still consider 6th gen. Because ORAS is coming out next week. So.
What?
Hype.
Next week? Oh shit. It's over.
So yeah. We're gonna both go through our top 5 favorite 6th gen Pokemon, and I guess I'll start first. So my number 5 favorite Pokemon from 6th gen was Hawlucha, and one of the biggest reasons is, as you guys know, I do like wrestling a lot, and Hawlucha just reminds me straight up of Rey Mysterio, and I feel bad for it because Rey Mysterio's short as fuck, and he has a mask, and so does Hawlucha. And every time that dude goes up on the top rope, when it's the most clutchest moment of his match, just misses. It's over. So high jump miss, frog splash miss, one of the biggest reasons why I like Hawlucha, because I just think he looks cool too. Despite his size, I didn't think he was that small until Kenny told me, like literally a few minutes ago. But yeah. That's my number 5. So what you got, Kenny?
Alright, my number 5 is my boy Pangoro. Alright, well, I like Pangoro because, well, initially when I saw the game, I was like, looking through Pokemon, I'm like, wow, this thing looks really cool, big-ass panda thing. Found it was dark fighting. I'm like, wow, I like that typing. There's only one other Pokemon like that. And I was like, wow, this looks like it could be, a pretty big powerhouse. And it got, what's that move it gets? Parting Shot. I thought that move would be really, really cool. I thought it would actually have a bigger impact than it did, but only Pangoro gets it, so it's not as good as I thought it would be. But I do like Pangoro. He's it's pretty tall for one thing, and I like all of his abilities. I'd prefer it if he got Earthquake, so I could use that with Mold Break and Levitate. Not mean. But in the end, I do like his design, and I really like his type. I like Dark Fighting as a typing. Like, we only have, what, 4 total? I believe it's 4?
I know Scrafty.
I don't know if Pancham is Dark and Fighting.
Nah, I think Pancham's is Fighting.
Alright, so we got 3.
Yeah.
3.
But it is a good typing, though. So is Flying Fighting, when I think about it, too. It's actually one of the only flying types that can switch in on Stealth Rocks, and it wouldn't be super effective. So, yeah. Alright, so number 4 for me is Noivern. Now, when I first saw this shit leaked, like, I went nuts. I was at my friend's house, and when he told me that, wasn't there something supposed to come out today, I was like, oh yeah. So when I fucking go on Cerebi, I was just like, wah! I was very disappointed in it, though. Not gonna lie. When I first saw Noivern, I was going apeshit because that dude looks so damn cool. I'm all like, nice, this dude's gonna be like a dark flying type. Because that's what he looked like to me at first, dark and flying. It looked like a big ass, like, vampire bat. And I'm all into that shit, dark shit, Halloween, all good. That's me. But I saw it, and, Buzzkill later ends up being dragon flying. God knows how. I don't know how that ends up happening at all. That was almost like Tyrantrum being rock and dragon. I don't... What? But Noivern for sure is definitely my 4th favorite. Just his whole design looks amazing. And he is the fastest dragon Pokemon, isn't
he? Yep.
Yeah, I think, he's the fastest, so... Yeah, but, I guess he's not dragon primarily. I like to think that the primary type of a dual-type Pokemon is their first one, and then, like, the secondary type is, etc. So he's flying first and then dragon, so I guess that made sense. But yeah, so what's your 4th?
My 4th is actually Hawlucha, which is pretty... kind of like how Witch said earlier. Reminds me of a wrestler. And I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid. The Rock was my favorite wrestler. But it also reminded me, I don't know if any of you youngins were around back then. You might have still been swimming around in, anyway.
In the old sack.
Reminds me of that show that used to come on KWB back in the day called, no, I just forgot the name. Los Luchadores. No, not that one. Los Luchadores. And I was like, wow, this Pokemon is just Lobo Forte. Except he's tiny. But yeah, like Witch said, it's pretty cool. Now that Witch is brought up, his eyes kind of remind me of Rey Mysterio, because that man, his eyes are just insane. I'm just like looking at him, I'm like, oh, good.
You're like, what the fuck is going on?
I was kind of disappointed with Hawlucha though. It does get Mold Breaker, but nothing really to abuse it with. It does, however, get Unburden, which I think is pretty cool. Doubles the speed, making it really, really fast. And Flying Press, I thought it was a really cool addition as a flying and fighting move. Kind of like, I'm like, hit him with the Frog Splash.
Yeah, you see? I will say though that with Hawlucha, it was kind of, when people see him, I immediately thought he wasn't as threatening, but that dude can do some serious damage, like easily set up a sub or Swords Dance. It's like it's over because he's just too strong. And then with Unburden,
his speed is OD too for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, Hawlucha is definitely one of the best 6th gen Pokemon. Let's just put that out there. But yeah. Alright, so that goes to 3 now. So my 3rd favorite 6th gen Pokemon is actually Yveltal. Man, when I thought I went batshit for fucking Noivern, batshit, yeah, but when the trailer, I remember staying up until like 4 in the morning is when they did that worldwide announcement thing of X and Y, and I believe, who did they show first? Did they show Xerneas first or Yveltal?
I don't remember. I want to say Yveltal.
Yeah, I think it was Yveltal, and then like, I was just going crazy as fuck because everyone was instantly making speculations that he's gonna be fighting flying, he's gonna be dragon flying, he's gonna be ghost flying, and I was all like, you know what, this dude's dark and flying. I'm so happy that he is because I like dark types. Ice and dark are my 2 favorite types. So Yveltal is actually the 2nd legendary dark type. We haven't had one since Darkrai, and even when Darkrai came out, that dude was the shit. That, when I saw him in that Diamond, and it was in that movie, right? It was Dialga and Palkia.
Oh yeah, that movie. I don't remember what it was called. But... Yeah,
I don't remember the name either. But like that dude just gets in between both blasts, and like he dies, but he gets obliterated, and he just comes up at the end. And he has legs. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, until the movie, I had no idea.
Yeah, he had legs.
He was standing on top of like the flagpole or whatever at the end of the movie. It just like.
Alright, we start talking about Darkrai. I mean, Yveltal, it's literally up there in the category of darkness Pokemon. Literally, when it comes back to life or when it dies, it takes the soul of every living thing. Well, I mean, just get sent to the darkness now and save yourself some trouble, man. It's
you can't do that.
And then, he looked different from a lot of legendary Pokemon. When I saw Xerneas, I didn't give a fuck about that thing. Even though that thing's really good, that thing looks like a fucking pansy-ass Bambi with steroids. But I saw Yveltal, like, he was different. And when I say different, I guess it's because it's not picked, like, no more sprites and shit. But then you look at him, my first instance, he didn't look like a Pokemon. It's one of those things where, like, you probably expect it from, like, a Magic the Gathering kind of game, because the artwork on those cards are fucking insane. And yeah, so Yveltal is definitely up there. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually Greninja.
Oh.
And I like Greninja's like overall design. Like, yeah, he's a frog, that's a ninja, but I like how the way I forgot exactly what species of, I think it's a species of frog, obviously a species of frog, that either change its color or something to that effect, but my friend was explaining it to me.
Oh, poison dart frog.
Yeah, poison dart frog. And I thought that was really cool, you know, how they incorporated that into a Pokemon game, because when they do stuff like that, I'm just like, oh, this is like the coolest thing ever. You know, like when they include like lore, like on Regigigas or whatever. I'm like, wow, this thing is really cool. And they got Protean. I'm like, wow, this is actually, you know, a really cool, unique ability. And I think, what other? Kecleon got it as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought that was really cool as well, because, you know, first off, the ability, that's you know, fresh and unique. And that actually, you know, plays a role into, you know, actual chameleons. I'm like, wow, you know, this is pretty cool. Game Freak, I'm proud of you.
They actually did something right.
Nice and proud. Aside from that, you know, it has a really diverse move pool. I like its typing, Water Dark, except whenever I see a Greninja, I just worry that whatever type it is depends on what move it used last. And then I just, you know, I'm just terrified.
Yeah, I also bring it up too that this is just my opinion, but I think Greninja is probably the best water starter out there. For a long time, Swampert has reigned, and I think his reign has finally come to an end, because I'm pretty sure he can't live a grass knot from a Greninja or a hidden power grass.
Well, I mean, it kills Dragonite through multi-scale, so like...
Disgusting.
I don't...
It's literally disgusting in it. And also, I don't think we haven't seen a starter like go up in tiers so fast since Blaziken, since that dude went to Ubers. And I mean, obviously Greninja's not Uber material, but OU nonetheless. That dude, I remember seeing people sweep people. Wow, I said people too many times. I just lost my train of thought. Anyways. Alright, so number 2 for me, you know he had to be on the list, people. He had to be on the list. It's the Darkness Allergy. Dragalge was definitely something different. It was the first poison dragon type Pokemon. And the way he looked creepy. It's like, it's not even like menacing, it's just creepy. It's like, it reminded me a lot of Silent Hill Homecoming, because there are certain ghosts in the game that they will continue to follow you unless you pierce them down to the ground with a dagger or like this sword. And that's what Dragalge looks like to me. He looks like he just floats around aimlessly and like, you know, he's just there to torment your soul. But then, you know, later on when I started using this guy, he was like, I'm gonna spread the venom and I'm gonna poison 3 Pokemon at the same time in a free-for-all. And I was just, I lost it. After that, using Dragalge was amazing. This is probably the only reason why he's on the list. It's not really more of looks, it was more of like, from 6th gen, he's probably the most used 6th gen poke that I have, because I've used him in like so many free-for-alls and like single battles and stuff like that. It's actually a very overall like good Pokemon. It's just his HP is kind of low, but yeah, that's why I like Dragalge. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 my number 2 Pokemon is are you okay? Oh no, he's choking. No, he was taking a swig of soda.
Drinking water.
My number 2 Pokemon is actually Heliolisk.
Ooh.
And you know, going through the game, you know, nice beginning of the game. It's like, you know, it's nice to pick up electric type. It used to be Pikachu. Then there was Electrike. In this game there was Heliolisk. I'm like, oh, all right, let's see what this bad boy can do. What do you mean he has dry skin? I was like, what? I was like, so I can just go through the main game, Rain Dance on one of my Pokemon, get health back, and 100% accurate thunders. I'm like, wow, this is broken. I mean, he does have that normal typing too, which is, kind of eh. I mean, he gets immunity to ghost types, but he gets, you know, pillaged by fighting types, which, you know, that what normal types do. They just get destroyed by fighting types. He doesn't have the greatest move pool. That's okay though. He does learn Surf. I don't know why Lizard surfing, but you know what? Far be it from me to question why Game Freak does the things it does. Also, he can function in just about any weather except for hail, effectively. He has dry skin as an ability. He also has Sand Veil, and he has solar power. And I thought that was really cool too, how he can just, you know, be in whatever weather you want him to be in. Granted, if you're using Sun, you're probably not using Thunder or whatever. I don't really use Thunder anyway, personally, because I'll just miss. But I also like the way his neck flares up when he uses a move, and he just looks like, I guess, a sun. I mean, I guess. I mean, I like the concept of it. I'm not really fond of how it looks when it does it. Oh, what? Look, I know the animal that does that.
It's called the frilled lizard.
Ah, that thing, yeah.
Which I don't get because, I don't mean to interrupt you, but a frilled lizard is a lizard that lives in the desert, and you brought that up that it learns surf. How the fuck do you know how to swim in a desert?
You ever see a mirage up in Oasis in the desert?
You just said in a mirage though. I don't think his ass is gonna be like surfing in the sand.
Hey man, you see a mirage, you think it's water, you just be surfing, man.
Better toss him a bottle.
I wish he got some dragon moves because he is indeed in the he's in the dragon egg group, so I thought he'd be able to get like Dragon Pulse or something, but he just doesn't, which is kind of a letdown. But I still think he's a really cool Pokemon.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Look, also like when you said about the normal typing against fighting types, I haven't seen. I mean, then again, I don't battle as much, but I haven't seen that many fighting types in the tier that he's in, which is UU. Just because, you know, Ghost is such a really good type now. Ghost has just been buffed to... It wasn't buffed, it's just, you know, Steel no longer resists Ghost and Dark. So, fighting Pokemon don't really show their face that much anymore, especially with Fairies, since I still don't know how Fairy is super effective at fighting. I really don't. Like, couldn't you just, like, punch the shit out of Tinkerbell or something, and she died?
Well, someone explained this to me at one point, how Fairies... This is really off topic. But fairies, like in lore or whatever, I guess that's what it's called. I don't know what I'm saying anyway. How fairies, you know, had power against dragons, but if you put a fairy in like a cage, like a steel cage, you would just do nothing because for whatever reason, fairies just can't do anything against steel cages.
So what you're saying is they can't go against Rey Mysterio?
If there's a cage, no.
They go in the cage match, Hell in a Cell though.
Well,
alright, so now we're narrowing it down to our number one, and my number one, well, before we get to our number one, I'm going to recap the last four. So number 5 was Halucha, number 4 for me was Noivern, number 3 was Yveltal, and number 2 was Dragalge. So my number one is Gourgeist, and let me tell you, ever since I had played, it was Crystal, I would say. Once I went through Gold and Silver, and then Crystal came out. I started thinking, because like I was saying before, really big on Halloween. That's my favorite holiday of the year. I love it more than my birthday. And niggas going ham on the keyboard. Like, I've always wanted a pumpkin Pokemon. Always. Like, I have no, like, ever since that time in Crystal, I don't know why it was in Crystal. I was just playing it, and I remember the exact fight, too. I was catching Suicune. And it just popped into my head, like, I want a pumpkin Pokemon. Why don't we have a pumpkin Pokemon? And I always knew it was going to be Grass and Ghost, because I also really like Ghost, too. Like, Gourgeist, the design, I'll have to admit, when I saw Pumpkaboo, that was crazy. I was so happy. But then it came to Gourgeist, and I wasn't as happy with it. But after like a while of looking at it and like actually finally getting it in the story, like I was happy with it. It was actually very cool ass Pokemon to have, and the typing is very unique. And one of the cool things about it is that even though it's Grass and Ghost, like it's supposed to be like a jack-o'-lantern, and the thing actually gets Fire Blast. So I thought that was pretty dope, even though its special attack is garbage. But Gourgeist, man, oh man. Go ahead, Kenny. I'm about to lose myself.
Yeah. Anyway, before I get into my last Pokemon, I'd just like to say I really like Gourgeist as well. I always like it more than Trevenant. I think it's literally because Gourgeist actually just got Shadow Sneak. I'm like, wow, I can be a wall and have Shadow Sneak. I literally just lost my shit. I'm like, I can just run around as a ghost and use Shadow Sneak. Anyway. Because, like, for the first, I don't know, like, I guess like half a month when the game came out, I kept trying to make team with Gorgas on. I'm like, I can put a Gorgas on this team because I was really fond of a Gorgas Tyranitar because those two would really complement each other really well. Anyway, before I get off on a tangent too much about Gorgas, quick recap of my previous 4 Pokemon. All right, at number 5 we have my boy Pangoro. All right, number 4 we had Haluchik. Number 3 we had Greninja. Number 2 we had Heliolisk. And at number 1, my favorite Pokemon from Kalos is actually Noivern. And and I like Noivern because when it was first revealed, I was like, wow, this thing looks really cool. I mean, like Witch, was really disappointed when there's another dragon flying type, but the unique, somewhat, I guess, kind of unique thing was that it was primarily a flying type as opposed to a dragon type. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. I also liked how it had the really big speaker ears things, and they're like boom burst. I'm like, boom burst, ooh, what is this? New move? What type is it? What does it do? Base 140 damage? What type is it? Normal type? I was like, I'm like, all right, I guess I can see that because sound moves now go through subs. And this is when I buffed Infiltrator. I'm just like, alright, so I can fire up Choice Spectre Draco Meteors and not worry about substitutes. I'm like, not worry about substitutes, you say. Interesting. And it can also switcheroo behind substitutes, which I thought I was like, wow, this is broken. I'm just gonna use this Pokemon, and then I made one, and then I barely used it because I met Draco Meteor and Hurricane all the time.
So I have Zoom Lens on mine.
I'll still miss.
Well, it helps. It makes you feel a little better.
It's not 100% accurate, though. It's not enough for me.
Well, use gravity.
Oh, you're right.
So, that's all you gotta say about it?
I like the fact that I got frisked, because one of my friends named it Noivern Quick Fondle. When we were sending it out, he was like, oh, let me get a quick fondle, see what you have. And the Noivern Frisk would just reveal it upon his item. I'm like, wow, you're just fondling the opponent Pokemon. Like, this is not okay.
Yeah, I have to admit though, Frisk is probably like my favorite ability now. Because it's just so helpful in competitive battling. It's not used a lot, but you just know, like, oh, so you that Choice Scarf Terrakion. Oh, that's cool. Alright, I got something for that. It helps you prepare for the battles and shit like that, so you know what you have to use against. What do you have to keep alive to kill this thing, and so.
Yeah, like, initially when I started using Gorgeist, I wasn't really too fond of Frisk, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can use this to my advantage. Yes.
Were you able to frisk, would it show the Pokemon that had a Mega Stone?
I don't remember.
Because I know you can't, like, trick those or knock them off. So, I was wondering if you were able to frisk those too.
If the hole is the wrong one, you can knock it off. I've seen that happen firsthand.
If you're holding the wrong Mega Stone, it just, wow.
Yeah, I saw.
Wait, I just noticed what you just said. What?
Alright, completely off topic here. Someone's Cresselia was once holding a Mewtwo X. So Shelly got knocked off. And then he's like, I thought I was involved in the Mewtwo X if my Cresselia held this stone.
Alright, that's probably where we end this. That is where you end this. But yeah, thank you guys. Also, check out Kyle Kenny's channel. This guy uploads very good content. So yeah, anything you gotta say before we go?
Alright, it's not a problem.
Darkness.